First of all, praise be to the Most High. I'm sure all of you have heard about generational curses. Generational curses, some of you may say that it's a demon that goes from generation to generation to generation. And it is, it's a spirit, it's a demonic spirit, it's a dark spirit that travels sometimes among families. There could be abuse, there could be alcoholism, there could be drug abuse specific to some families. And you know that whatever children see or experience, there's the possibility that they too shall imitate the sins of their fathers and their mothers. There are some children that are able to break the generational curses and move on with normal lives. My grandmother understood this better than any person I've ever known. She was very much abused and had a very abusive father. And she would tell me about some of the horrible things that he would do, like she had a tumor one time and he thought that she was pregnant, and how he would kick her in her stomach to cause her to lose whatever was there. And the unspoken of thing is, I think that maybe her own father was an abuser, a SA abuser. And that's why he was so adamant about kicking the baby out of her stomach, which wasn't a baby, but was a tumor. Generational curses, the sins of your father, travel down to when some people have their children. My grandmother admitted to me that when she was bringing and raising her own children, that she was quite abusive to at least one of those children. And it came to a point where my grandfather had to protect the children from her wrath that she had brought with this generational curse. But see, the generational curse passed down to some of the children that she had. And that's what they knew. Therefore, they tried to, I guess, well, from their behavior, get the same things over. Hold. Sorry for the interruption. But yeah, I was speaking of generational curses, and sometimes those curses are passed from generation to generation until someone decides to break that generational curse. And sometimes it will go to one or two of the children and not even affect the other children in the same way. Now, if there was, like, say, an alcohol problem, that could be passed specifically to a specific child, whereas the other child will not even touch alcohol. If there was a substance abuse, it's just like if a mother is pregnant and uses substances, the child is born addicted to that drug or that substance. That's a form of generational curse because it's passed on to the child. Now that child has the, I guess, once they are an adult, or once the hospital realizes that that child is addicted to drugs, they will help that cleanse out of the child's system. But it's according to what drug it is that this child will have to deal with that for the rest of their lives. And that's when breaking this generational curse has to be done by the person who inherited it. So as my grandmother explained to me that she was abused as a child, and she admits that she abused her children, some of her children, but she had this thing where as she was more protective of the boy child, but was harsher on the girls. Because I guess because she was a girl and she was abused, there was something in her head that triggered her to abuse the females. And she said her mind was not very, I guess, stable. She did admit that to me. And she even forewarned me that I would encounter some of those things with my own mother. So as soon as I reached of age, I automatically checked myself into therapy. I think the first time I went to therapy to sort out things about these family generational curses, I had just turned 18 years old. And I stayed in therapy sorting all of that madness out. And actually at 22 years old, a therapist and a theologist asked me to separate myself from that family because they refused to heal. But if that is all you know, it's pretty hard to do that. So it wasn't until much later that I decided to just separate myself from it, because their views were very distorted and based on prior abuse. And none of them had attended any sort of healing therapy or psychological healing or theological healing. And that it would only draw me back into the darkness or within their clutches. Therefore, it was best to break the ties in order to break the generational curse from traveling on down through into my children. So you will get, when you're trying to break away from generational curses, you will get those that are still in that curse to try to draw you back. They will say horrible things about you. They will say, oh, she thinks she's better than anybody else. She don't talk to us. She don't deal with us. But most of the time, there is a reason why people break off from their families and create family out or with other people. You know, you have to get with your soul rule. When you're healing, I don't care what it is, whether it's a generational curse having to do with abuse, alcohol, drugs, you have to break ties with those people. You cannot stay in the same environmental or the environment, because you constantly will continue to be abused. And especially if those people are not seeking healing or even realize that they are in a cycle of abuse. So when breaking the generational curses, you have to connect with a higher source. Y'all might see my son walking back and forth. Excuse me again, I had another break. But yeah, there is a certain amount of healing that people must go through in order to break generational curses. And a lot of time it is a spirit of you may call it demonic spirit. It's a dark spirit that travels, and it is a spirit for sure. You will even separate yourself from that core family, but then when you go out and when you're trying to live a right path, you're going to get these same type families that you just broke the curse from. They're going to come at you. People in other families with those same addictions, same abuses will come towards you because now you're on the right path. And this demonic spirit is out there and seeing that you're trying to get on the right path, connect with source. So it's going to seem like they're coming from everywhere just to annoy you, to draw you back into that same spirit. It happens. So you have to rebuke it. And when I say rebuke means to command that you have your peace. You have to command your peace. You have to command that these demons stay away from you. You have to correct people who try to use trickery to draw you into those things. You have to command for certain things to happen in your life, for you to keep your peace, to keep your sanity, to keep going on the right path. Because I tell you, they will try you. They will use trickery. They will do things to try to pull you out of character. That's a demonic spirit. And it is something that you have to fight whenever you are on your correct path. You have to stay in prayer. You have to stay in the Word. You have to stay connected to source. Because see, these people are still in that state of mind of the sins of their fathers and the sins of their mothers. And some of them don't even realize that what they are doing is a sin. Some of them do not realize that they are living off the path of righteousness. So when they do see people that are trying to live in peace and righteousness, their first instinct is that they're being annoyed. They don't like it. So let's break up their peace. What's normal, it's not normal to them. It's not normal. What's normal, a man and a woman being together, showing love to each other, that is normal. But see, when people that have come from these generational curses see this, it annoys them. They don't like the way another person is being loved, and they seek to have it. Yes, they seek to have it, but they go about it in the wrong way. And when they go about it in the wrong way, they seek to destroy a union of another, because they seek what they did not have. They seek what they did not grow up with. They seek to be normal, but that isn't what they were taught. So you have to rebuke whenever you're on the right path and you're connected to God. You have to constantly rebuke these demons, or they will constantly come after you. They will be all up in your business. They will cause discern. They'll act one way in front of one person and they act another when that person is not there. It's like they have dual personalities, and it's all about trickery. It's a curse. It's a demonic spirit. So what you have to do, just stay fast in your praying. Make sure you keep source connected to your life. And get with a group of people, because what they do, they love to isolate you. And I have succumbed to some isolation. But what it is that will make your living space so horrifically annoying that you don't want to have guests over. And that's what they want. But continue to have your guests in. Continue to pray. Continue to be connected with Source. Because you remember when Jesus said, and I use Jesus as a reference, when he said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They do not know what they do. They really do not know what they do. They think the way they live is normal. They think that that is the way to live. They do not know the path that they are traveling is that of sin and death. Because that is all they have seen, that is all they have known, and it has traveled from generation to generation. And until a person awakens, you can come on out, until a person awakens, they will always think that it is normal until they see the light. So I'm saying, stay in prayer. If you are aware of a generational curse, seek help. Reach out. Do not carry that burden alone. And command. You have to command what you want. People have been passive with, oh, I need help. Please help me, help me. It will never happen. The reason that certain things happen is because people command them to happen. When Jesus or any of the prophets spoke, it was a command. If you want to bring things into, if you want things to manifest, even the darkest spirit knows that in order to get what they want, they have to command it. It's just like people walking in the light, trying to walk a righteous path. You have to command what you want for your life. You have to command the demons to be cast into the belly of hell. You have to command that you have peace in your life. And when somebody come at you after you just told them and you made them aware that it's a certain path that you've got to travel, and they come with this temptation or trying to throw you off your path, command them to move out your way. Command it. Because my grandmama did tell me, and I'm going to use some words that may not be so savory. She said, no one can pee, squat, or shit for you. Only you can do that. And only you command the path in which you want your life to be. And don't let anyone dictate to you what you need to do, how you need to, especially when you know it's sinful, especially when you know it's bad. But when you got on blinders and you'll live that generational curse, a lot of you don't know. But one day, the Most High will bring somebody into your life, and it's going to seem strange to you because they're doing the normal thing, And it's going to cause a dissonance, a change in you. And then you're going to want to seek more information. Oh, I want to live this life. Hopefully you will do that. Some become jealous. Some become annoyed. Some will cause distraction, because when certain people get irritated, it irritates the demons in them. So in that case, you may need to get a priest, or let's hope that the Most High God sends somebody in your life that will awaken you to what you should be doing. Not what everybody says is right, but what is right. Because truth is truth no matter how you twist it. Truth is truth no matter who tells you or how many people say that it's not. Just because everybody says something right, it doesn't mean it's right. We had a blueprint at the beginning letting us know that was holy. That was holy. Everything that was holy and right, we had a blueprint. And when Sodom and Gomorrah came around, everything got messed up. Where they tried to say everything that was bad was good and good was bad. But no matter how you twist it, how you turn it, truth will always be truth, and truth will always come forth. So whether you're doing it in the dark or doing it in the light, was negative is negative, and was positive is positive. And I promise you, positive and truth will always outshine the darkness. Peace be upon you.